Right, we've got another quote from the witches here, and it is a wonderful image of their potion that they are making. They're introduced for their second round of prophecies, and before they give their prophecies, they create this putrid, horrible potion in a cauldron. And we've got this wonderful image of this witches doing it. It's kind of lasted in memory, and we see in films and all sorts of things, cartoons, ever since witches huddled around a cauldron. And these words are even, I think, in Harry Potter, aren't they? And it's this spell they're chanting round the cauldron. So, firstly, there's loads of weird stuff that you've got in here. Dog of tongue, Agla's fork, owlet's wing, all sorts of crazy, horrible stuff. First thing to say is that there's kind of a literal meaning to these, and also kind of what they really are. And the literal meaning is they're mainly nicknames for plants. And the grey box at the top up there, you can see what some of them are. So, for example, some of the awful sounding things like wool of bat actually is just the nickname for moss or holly. Eye of newt is just simply mustard seeds, and owlet wing is just a nickname for garlic. Some of them are quite poisonous, so tongue of dog would be hound's tongue, a poisonous plant, and there'd be a reason you're sticking that in your poison. But generally they're just plants, but of course Shakespeare chooses them for the words and the nicknames that they have. So we can look at some of those in another sense as well. So let's zoom in on some of this language. Firstly, we've got fillet of fenny snake, and in the cauldron boil and bake. We can see alliteration. The repetition of the fa and the ba here creates this kind of mystical chanting spell-like sound to the whole thing. Now, it's not the only place. I've only put alliteration in the first two lines, but it runs throughout this entire spell, this entire potion, and it gives it, as I say, that kind of creepy chanting-like tone throughout the whole thing. So we've got the rhythm there. We've also got the actual things that are in it. Now, I've told you that most of these are just nicknames for plants, but that doesn't mean we can't look at what these nicknames are in reality too. So newt, adder, blind worm, lizards, they're all reptiles, aren't they? And adder is a snake. It's the only venomous snake in England, actually. And reptiles have these connotations with evil, slithery, horrible things, don't they? And in particular, the snake, the adder, has connotations of evil and links to the Bible, where the devil disguised himself as a snake and snuck into the Garden of Eden to tempt Eve. So again, we've got connotations with evil here, especially with the adder, and obviously connotations with poison there. We've also got nocturnal creatures. They are creatures that come out at night. Bat, owlet, they are things that come out at night, aren't they? And night connotes darkness throughout the play, and darkness is linked to evil all the way through the play. All the evil things that happen in the play always happen at night. Murdering Duncan, etc., they always happen at night. So evil is associated with night, in lots of things really, in literature overall, but especially in Macbeth. And all the ingredients here really relate to poison, poisonous plants or venomous animals, or sin. Talking about sin, especially if you look in the link quotations box there, we've got other things that go in here. Liver of blaspheming Jew, nose of Turk, Tartar's lips. Now, these are not things that we'd probably put in a story today, but Shakespeare was writing a while ago, so we understand why he might have done that. Now, if we think about this, Jew would be Jewish, Turk and Tartar would probably be Muslim, Islamic. So what they're doing there is putting things that are unchristian, people that would be living in sin, along with a birth-strangled babe. Now, it was believed that babies were born in sin. We talked a bit about Adam and Eve earlier. Because Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden, she gave into temptation from the devil. The belief here would be that every baby is born in sin. You're born a sinner. And being christened or baptised is washing away that sin. Until you've done that, you are still a sinner. So a birth-strangled babe would be a sinner because that baby has not had the sin washed off him yet by being baptised or christened. So there's lots of things going into this, some poisonous, some creepy, and some all linked to the Christian idea of sin.